Watch where you walking, nigga. Hey, what you say, nigga?
Watch closely. You're about to experience a nigga moment. Webster defines the nigga moment as a moment when ignorance overwhelms the mind of an otherwise logical Negro male.
What did you say, bitch, nigga? Hey, squeeze it, nigga.
Causing him to act in an illogical, self-destructive manner, i.e., like a nigga. Nigga moments are unpredictable.
Hey, wait, man, wait. This is stupid. Hey, you right, dawg. Look, let's put the guns away and go on about our business. Freeze!
But they all end up bad. If they had their own category, nigga moments would be the third leading killer of black men behind pork chops and FEMA. It's a fact. Now let's see how a nigga moment affects a white man.
Prick. Watch where you walking, bitch.
What did you... Wait a minute. I'm white.
Where you going? Don't you ignore me. This is a perfectly good moment to throw your life away.
It is video that only tells part of a story right now, a story that is still being written tonight. But no matter what the final chapter is, this man's life is over from a fatal meeting and his family devastated. Thanks for joining us at 10 on air and wherever you're streaming. I'm Corey Stark. Samantha has the night off. That man's death appears to be over a lawn care disagreement. And News 4 has video leading up to and after the clash. News 4's Ashley Lincoln is speaking to the victim's family about the shooting that happened in Glasgow Village in St. Louis County. Ashley is live following that investigation tonight. Ashley?
That's right, Corey. The victim's family telling me tonight that this was a senseless act of violence. Again, as you mentioned, this was all over a yard debris dispute regarding grass that was cut from the neighbor's yard. Tonight, we're learning that police are reviewing surveillance camera from that home to figure out who's responsible for this shooting.
Senseless. 4 shots to the chest. Why?
That's the question the fiance of Alan Waller says keeps her up at night.
We were good people. Why?
Waller, who's also a father, was gunned down in his driveway Sunday morning.
All we did was go shopping for the kids and come home.
His fiance, who didn't want her face shown for her safety, says after errands and coming home, Waller wanted to talk to the neighbor's landscapers about ongoing issues from them leaving their debris in his driveway. Home surveillance video shows the female neighbor walking 2 men to Waller's doorstep. After the men confirm, Waller takes them to the side of the house to show them the debris. His fiancée says that side of the home doesn't have cameras. Within seconds of being out of frame, things go wrong. 8 seconds go by before you see the neighbor sprinting across her lawn, and soon after, a third man appears from behind a truck with a gun. Waller's fiancée, who was inside the home with their children, describes the gunshots.
It's like, shh, whatever type of gun it was, that's the shots I heard. I went to go see my man. I see he's on the ground. I immediately went in to grab my phone to call 911.
I reached out to St. Louis County Police, who say they can't comment on where this investigation stands, but they do say detectives have an optimistic outlook on this case.
I'm strong, but it hurts. It hurts. My 2-year-old daughter cries for her daddy, screams for her daddy, kissing her daddy pictures because she miss him.
And I also went to that neighbor's home to figure out who these landscapers are. That neighbor was not home. We did leave our card with our contact information. She, however, has not reached out to us since we left that neighborhood. We did find, however, from police that they are still actively investigating, and they're encouraging the public, if you have information on who these individuals are, to contact their office. We'll have that information on our News 4 app. Live tonight in Clayton, Ashley Lincoln, News 4.
Ashley.
Did you know that the average...
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, and verse 7. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Wasting and destruction are in their paths. The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahawah YAHAWASHI, Bahashem HaKadosh. Double honors to my elders and my apostles of Great Milestone. They're doing it real well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect, the all-elected, the one-third. Shalom. This is Brother Dawadah, coming back at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahawah YAHAWASHI. And as you just saw on the screen, you just had a what they call a nigger moment. You know, you saw the clip from the Boondocks, and you saw the clip from the news station. And it shows you that what 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they deserve what's coming to them. They deserve exactly what Yahawah YAHAWASHI has in store for them. And man, it's like every day, the more and more Yahawah YAHAWASHI allows us to partake of this knowledge, to have this knowledge, to have this truth, the more and more you learn to hate these wicked 2/3 slimy, grimy, weed smoking, Shiva Jata having, killing each other niggas. You just hate them with the zeal, with the intense passion, because you want Jake to just, you know, you want them to get right, but then you realize they ain't gonna get right. You like, man, hey, like I believe it was the apostle say it was high priest. It was either high priest YAHAWAH or elder high priest Ariah, or maybe it was Elder Abba Bivens, but he would say, hey, if a nigga can't get it, we moving on. You know, I believe that was High Priest Ariah, and I believe Elder Abba Bivens would say, just forget them. Yeah, just forget about these niggas. If they can't get it, hey, to hell with them. You know, point blank period. Because when you see what these slimy, grimy, low down, wicked jakes are doing, you know, you would be like, man, what the, you know, you would lose it. Now, Ezekiel 8, in verse 6, he said, furthermore unto me, to me is Ezekiel the prophet, son of man, seest thou what they do? Even the great abominations that the house of Israel committeth here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary, but turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations. Okay? Well, really, let's start at the top. Ezekiel 8:1. And it came to pass in the 6th year, in the 6th month, of the 5th day of the month, as I sat in mine house, that's Ezekiel the prophet, and the elders of Judah sat before me, that the hand of Yahawah YAHAWASHI power fell there upon me. Then I beheld, and lo, a likeness as the appearance of fire, from the appearance of his loins even downwards, fire, and from his loins even upward, as the appearance of brightness, as the color of amber. And he put forth the form of an hand, and took me by a lock of mine head, and the Spirit lifted me up between the earth and the heaven, and brought me in the visions of the Most High to Jerusalem, to the door of the inner gate that looketh toward the north, where was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provoketh to jealousy. And behold, the glory of the Most High power of Israel was there, according to the vision that I saw in the plain. So now we got the background, right? Then said he unto me, son of man, lift up thine eyes now the way toward the north. So I lifted up mine eyes the way toward the north, and behold, the north gate, at the gate of the altar, this image of jealousy in the entry. He said furthermore unto me, son of man, seest thou what they do? Me, do you see this shit that they doing? Even the great abominations that the house of Israel committeth here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary, but turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations. And he brought me to the door of the court. And when you read this chapter, which we're going to, read a few verses down, what he's doing is showing Ezekiel the prophet all the wicked, slimy, grimy stuff Jake was doing. Some of which Jake was doing in the cut, believing that no one's seeing them. The Most High is seeing what you're doing. Yahawah YAHAWASHI's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. He sees it all. Scripture says that the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding both the evil and the good. What are the eyes of the Lord? The angels. They're literally in every place seeing what you're doing, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Slakia. Whether it's good or whether it's bad. And guess what? If it's bad, you know what those angels are going to do? They're going to go and report the matter to the Most High. Real quick, let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. In verse What's in Ecclesiastes? I feel like it's Ecclesiastes 9. Nope, 10. Ecclesiastes 10 and 20. Curse not the king, no, not in thy thought, and curse not the rich in thy bedchamber. For a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which hath wings shall tell the matter. Which is what? An angel. That's that bird of the air. So he sees what you're doing. Oh, you did that. Oh, you said what? Then he goes and report it back to the Most High. See? So that's why when all hell breaks loose, when the scriptures speak about, for many there be that shall perish of famine, hey, you got to have a lot of jakes out here that are going to perish of famine, which is one of the worst ways to go. Like the elder apostle Aryamlab said in this video a few days ago, he said Jake can't go an hour without eating, which that's so true. And that's the same holds true to the rest of these Babylonians. They can't go an hour without eating. You see? That's why anytime, in their full system where they will have like a class break where they'll give the class like 10 minutes to chill, you know what they will do? They will flock over to, their local, because in these different campuses, they have stores within the buildings. They'll flock over there and buy some snacks, and they'll just be snacking. See? Then after they get out of class, they go and snack again. Because that's this society. Esau has groomed this society for you to lean upon it. Anytime you want something, you just call up you place your order online and DoorDash delivers it to your home. See? If you're hungry, they can deliver your food to your home. If you don't feel like leaving your house, they can deliver groceries to your home. It's to the point where they will even deliver fully cooked meals to your home. All you got to do is just pay for the subscription. So Esau has built a society where he's pampering the people, but eventually he's going to remove that crutch, all right, which are these different programs, which are these different convenience stores, which are these different things put in place to make your life easier. Esau is going to remove that crutch, and you're going to be left out here because you're so busy leaning upon Esau that you've forgotten about Yahweh Baal Shem YAHAWASHI. So when all hell breaks loose, Yahweh Baal Shem YAHAWASHI is going to forget about you and your children, all right, because you refuse to return to him. So the point being that the angels, they're in every place, and they're seeing all the wickedness that Jake is doing, and they ain't going to get away with any of it. Ezekiel 8 and verse 7. And he brought me to the door of the court, and when I looked, and behold, a hole in the wall. Then said he unto me, Son of man, dig now in the wall. And when I had digged in the wall, behold, a door. And he said unto me, Go in, and behold the wicked abominations that they do there. Who is the they? Wicked Israelites. So I went in, and remember, this is in the cut. So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping things, and the abominable beast, and all the idols of the house of Israel. That's another thing. You Jakes, you are heavy into idolatry. That's why you walk into a so-called Puerto Rican's house, which are the tribe of Ephraim, you see a whole bunch of Caesarea statues, Caesarea portraits. Same applies to the so-called black homes. You hop in that living room, the first thing you see is the image of Caesarea Borgia. Sweet white Jeebus, that white meat. That's the first thing you see. Because why? Jake is heavy into idolatry. Heavy. It says, So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping things, and abominable beasts, and all the idols of the house of Israel portrayed upon the wall round about. And there stood before them 70 men of the ancients of the house of Israel, and in the midst of them stood Jazaniah, the son of Shepham, with every man his censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up. Then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark? That's in the cut. And they believe no one seeing them, every man in the chambers of his imagery. For they say, Yahweh Baal Shem YAHAWASHI seeth us not, Yahweh Baal Shem YAHAWASHI hath forsaken the earth. Let's hop over to Ezekiel 9. Ezekiel 9 and verse 9. Then said he unto me, The iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceeding great, and the land is full of blood, and the city full of perverseness. For they say, Yahweh Baal Shem YAHAWASHI hath forsaken the earth, and Yahweh Baal Shem YAHAWASHI seeth not. Yeah, you believe the Most High doesn't see you. All right? That's why Jake, they shot up 23 people in Florida, and then they dumped the car in the ocean. And they believe the Most High didn't see him. There was an angel right there present throughout that whole thing. Who you think made them do that? YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. As it is written, for unto the Most High God, the Lord, Yahawah, belong the issues of death. Roughly paraphrased in the scripture. Not even a sparrow can die unless the Most High sanctions it. See? It says, and as for me also, mine eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their way upon their head, meaning pay them back. See, so you don't get off scot-free. Let's jump back. Ezekiel 8 and verse 13. He said unto me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of YAHAWASHI's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat woman weeping for Tammuz. Then said he unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these. Now you got Jakes that'll say, well, why is it 2/3? Why do they gotta die? Why did Jake gotta, why can't we all just come together? Well, because Jake is wicked. See? And they need to be judged according to their wickedness. And he brought me into the inner court of YAHAWASHI's house. And behold, at the door of the temple of YAHAWASHI, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men, with their backs toward the temple of YAHAWASHI, and their faces toward the east, and they worshiped the sun toward the east. See? So this whole chapter is about Jake going off, all right? And YAHAWASHI is revealing unto Ezekiel, like, hey, you see this shit? You see this? Excuse my Swedish. Then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abominations which they commit here? For they have filled the land with violence, and have returned to provoke me to anger. And lo, they put the branch to their nose. Therefore will I also deal in fury. Mine eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity. And though they cry in mine ears with a loud voice, yet will I not hear them. And that's going to happen again. Because when YAHAWASHI jacks them up, they're going to be crying. Even unto the Lord, YAHAWASHI. They're going to be saying, oh, what's that name the Hebrew Israelites was using? YAHAWASHI, save me. And the Most High ain't going to hear them. See? Now let's hop over. Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. Now this is the judgment. Because when you read Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, the reason why Ezekiel 9 took place back then is because the abominations Jake was doing in Ezekiel, the 8th chapter. Ezekiel 9 and 4. YAHAWASHI said unto him, meaning to this angel, go through the midst of the city, any city where Jake is at, through the midst of Jerusalem. Jerusalem was a people before it's a place. And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. See? So that mark is this knowledge, this truth. And that's the mark that exempts you from judgment. In other words, you get a pass from the judgment to come, which is what? The missiles and the chariots. You're going to get a pass, the members of his elect. And to the others, meaning to the rest of these Israelites that don't have that mark, he said, in mine hearing, meaning he wants to hear when the judgment is brought upon them. Go ye after him through the city and smite, meaning kill. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. See? So the angels, they ain't going to spare. They ain't going to have any pity when they do this again. This is going to happen again. Slay utterly old and young. So the old individuals and the young, old Jakes, they're going to get it, and young Jakes. Because the old Jakes, they going off too. You see them just still smoking. They're still smoking weed. And some of the biggest coons are the older generation. Though they went through the time of when Jake was getting literally beat by these different cops day in, day out, for them marching for their rights and protesting. They went through that. And yet still, they're some of the biggest coons for Esau now. Slay utterly old and young. Both maids, a maid is a young woman, and little children, and women. Like these little young Jakes. Now a few weeks at camp, there was a group of some young Jake Eve women, some young Eves. There was probably like 5, 6, 5, 6, and 7. It was about 9, 10 of them. young little Israelite girls, you know, and they walked past the camp, and they were there with their mother, I believe, and it was a mother and maybe like her sister maybe, so it was like 7 4 or 5-year-old young Israelite girls, and they walked past the camp, and then one of those little trolleys that drive by that play music, you know, for the people to chill and relax on, and they use their feet to pedal, you know. And it was a crowd of, or rather, it was one of those trolleys going by on the street, and it was, you know, some MBs on there, and they was playing some hood music, you know. And then when they heard that beat, that group of 7-year-olds or 4, 5, 6, 7-year-olds, they literally stopped and they started popping it. They started popping like it's hot. You know, that literally happened, and we was looking like, what the heck? And then the people on the trolley, the little MBs on the trolley, I was like, hey, and you know. So that shows you what YAHAWASHI has to hit the reset button. Who do you think they learned that from? You know, from their so-called moms. This place gotta go. So the judge is gonna befall little children too, and the women. It said women twice. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. What is the mark? This knowledge, this truth. That's what is going to exempt you from judgment. And begin in my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. You see? So the judge is going to begin with those that know that they're Israelites. Okay? So yeah, this is going to take place again. Judgment. Okay? Judgment on a mass scale. You know what? Let's keep reading, because so many Jakes was getting judged that Ezekiel was like, "Whoa, what's going on? You gonna kill us all?" Verse 8. Well, let's continue. Verse 7. And he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. And they, that's the angels, went forth and slew in the city. They was killing Jake. These wicked Jakes, weeping for Tammuz, praying to the praying to the sun. They was in the cut, you know, with their idols and such. See? And it came to pass while they were slaying them, while the angels were getting down, and I was left, the eyes of Ezekiel, that I fell upon my face and cried and said, Ah, Lord, Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi power, wilt thou destroy all the residue of Israel in thy pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem? You see? So he was like, whoa, because he was seeing tons of Jakes getting killed, getting jacked up by these angels that were going through and killing. You know? So he was getting a little nervous. See? So when this judgment takes place, you know, there's going to be a lot of Jakes that are going to catch it. They're going to catch what they've been, they're going to reap what they've sown. They've done the wickedness, so they're going to reap the judgment. You see? In Ezekiel, he had the mark that exempted him from judgment. Verse 11. And behold, the man clothed with linen, which hath the inkhorn by his side, which was Yahawashi. It says, reported the matter. So this is Yahawashi reporting the matter to Yahawah, the Most High, saying, I have done as thou hast commanded me. In other words, mission complete. See? And what was the mission? To go through and start slaying these wicked Jakes, but spare those that have the mark. See? So, hey, let's go to Isaiah 59. So when the judgment comes, it's justified, because Jake is doing wickedness. Isaiah 59:7. Their feet run to evil. It's talking about these wicked Jakes. And they make haste to shed innocent blood. You just saw an example of that. See? You just saw an example of that. He killed the guy just because the debris from the grass that was cut got on his property, so-called. Which is not even your property. Really, he's taking over this land. You still got to pay your property tax. You know, if you're renting a home, you still got to pay rent to the landlord. You know, so, you know, we don't have anything here. You know, all we got is this truth. That's it. See, if you're renting a home, you got to pay the rent to the landlord. If you're renting an apartment, you got to pay the rent to whoever you're renting it from. You know, we don't really own any land. That Jay got all the motion. He could have just asked the guy, hey, could you clean this up for me? You know, simple. But nope, their feet run to evil. There's another scripture where it says that they have both hands, their both hands are swift to do mischief, roughly paraphrasing the scripture. And they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, wasting and destruction are in their path. So this is the state that these jakes are in. They're constantly plotting on each other, thinking about how to rob somebody, how to kill this guy. You know? This is why 2/3 gotta go. The way of peace they know not. See? Let's talk about Jake. Okay? That's why Jake is always talking about violence. Jake always talking about, when you hear their rap music, oh, I got the gat, I got the strap on me, I got the Draco, I got this. That's all they talk about. They're taking pictures on Instagram and Snapchat with their weapons. See? They talk to each other about, oh, I'm going to kill this guy, I'm going to shoot this guy, this, that, and the third. Yeah, the way of peace they know not. And there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. See? So that's why when the judgment comes, YAHAWASHI ain't going to show them any mercy. Okay? 2nd Ezra chapter 9. Let's close out on this. 2nd Ezra 9, verse 21. And I saw let's start 20. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. Let the multitude perish then. What is the multitude? 2/3 of the nation of Israel. 66.2% of you wicked jakes. Alright? The 2/3 club, like the Elder Apostle Gabar calls it. That's whom the multitude is. That's referring to. Okay? See verse 21 again. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and the plant of a great people. That's his elect. That's whom the Lord is dealing with. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. Born in vain? Yeah, they were born just to die. 2/3 are born in vain. And let my grape be kept, and my plant, that's his elect. For with great labor have I made it perfect. Yeah, there's another scripture where it says that the elect have been made perfect through suffering. Alright? Roughly paraphrasing the scripture. You see? So, yeah, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. Alright? All praises, honors, and glories be unto Yahawah, Baal Shem, YAHAWASHI, Baal Shem, Kodash. Double honors to my elders and my apostles of Great Milestone that do indeed well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect, the afflicted, 1/3. That being said, Shalom. RAWCHAA. Shalom.